51 people, including a child, killed in this most recent attack in the Kharkiv region. How is the landscape of the battlefield changing a year and a half into this war?
Well, we're on day 590, Marni. You remember you and I were on air the night of the 24th of February of last year. It has changed. The landscape of the war has changed, but also the geopolitical aspect of this and how, strategically overhaul of NATO and so forth. But back to your point, that it's significant that Russia is still able to attack Ukraine. In this case, unfortunately, 52 people killed, and that one child, that 6-year-old child. It's heartbreaking. President Zelensky was very clear earlier today that the number one need for him is air defense systems, but also air defense munitions. And that's a message not only to the European capitals, but it's also a message to the U.S. Congress, specifically the U.S. House of Representatives, who are not even in session. And there is no follow-on funding bill. That stopgap measure that was voted on, several days or so ago did not include funding for Ukraine. I think it's in the best interest, the best vital national interest of the United States to continue to fund Ukraine because they're in such a tough fight. My final point, though, to your question is we're now into the fall heading to winter. And what's happening in Ukraine is very muddy conditions because it's the rainy season. And so if the Ukraine's going to be able to continue with, an effective or near effective counteroffensive operations across, particularly in the Donbass region in the east, it's going to be very tough going for them. But again, once they get into winter, it's going to change the complexion of the battlefield also.
As I mentioned, support for continued funding for Ukraine has been waning among Americans. It's certainly a point of contention in Congress right now, even though governing in the House is essentially frozen. $44 billion the U.S. has already provided. The president is asking for an additional $24 million. How would you explain it to folks who don't support continued funding how the money has been adequately spent and where we're seeing the momentum for the Ukrainian forces on the ground and using that money in the ways that it should be?
Well, first, I would start with your final point, and that the momentum has swung towards the Ukrainian military and so forth, and certainly under Zelensky's political leadership. But I would tell the American people a couple of things. Ukraine and the success coming out of the Ukraine-Russia war, in the next, not only several months, but I predict certainly through 2024, maybe even 2025, is in the vital U.S. national security interest. It has, as I mentioned, it has really strategically overhauled NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, which is in the best interest of the United States. The fact is that Russia has been, in their particularly their ground forces, have been somewhat decimated. They can no longer project power outside of Ukraine, but we still need to make sure that they can't do that. In other words, the rest of NATO may not necessarily be in harm's way from a ground invasion, but they also have the largest strategic and tactical nuclear stockpile in the world. So we have to remain strong. And the only thing Putin understands, he's a bully. The only thing he understands is power. My last point is we still need to continue to provide Ukraine with the capabilities and the resources and the armaments to get them to the best possible position, Marni, in a negotiating table. Hopefully that will come here, maybe perhaps in the end of 2024. By then, that puts them in the best conditions to have a resolute, position to stop the war, but also in favor of Ukraine. And that would be not only in favor of Ukraine, but in terms of NATO and U.S. vital national security interests. Last point. This is not necessarily just a condition of discussion or negotiation or an endgame here within Russia, Ukraine. It's other things going on in the world, geopolitical things, China, Taiwan, Iran, Israel, North Korea, South Korea, and so forth. So there's a broader picture here. I would tell the American people, this isn't just about Russia and Ukraine. This is about the broader aspects of really global security and more of a global peace and lifetime for our children.
Yeah, democracy is fragile. We've seen it. We cannot take it for granted. Lieutenant General Richard Newton, enjoy the weekend. Thank you.
Thank you, Marni. Have a great weekend.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.